All right, so the draw has just come out for Madrid for the men, and it's looking pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting for the top seeds as well. Some tough draws early and tough matches early for those players. Well, let's go see who's not playing, because there are some big names that are pulled out of this tournament. All right, so we've only got the 4 players so far that are out of the tournament. Zong, he's out. Sinner is also pulled out. Tabilo, he's also not playing in this one. And also Triple Z will not be playing in this one. And he actually did well here not that long ago. So some names there that have done well on the clay in the past and will not be here, but there are still some big names, so let's take a look at the top of the draw. Top of the draw, we've got 32 seeds in this one, and the top 32 get a bye in the first round. Zverev, number 1 seed, after winning Munich last week and overtaking Alcaraz in the rankings, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Batista Agut or Minaur in the second round. Then you got Borges taking on Carreño Busta. Winner of that will take on the number 28 seed, Davidovich Fokina, in the second round. Then you've got number 20 seed Cerundolo. He'll take on either Mute or a qualifier in the second round. Then you've got Comasagna taking on Martinez. Winner of that will take on the number 13 seed Fils in the second round. Interesting little draw. You know, Zverev coming off a title last week. Needed that title as well. Hadn't been playing great since the Australian Open. But of course, you got to watch out for Zverev. You got to watch out for Fils. Has been very dangerous over the last couple of weeks. Only losing to Alcaraz on clay. Got to watch out for Cerundolo as well. Has beaten Zverev on clay this year. And Fokina has been very, very good on clay this year. All right, next section of the draw, we've got the number 12 seed Sheldon gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Pirikar or Navone in the second round. Then you got Baena taking on Thompson. Winner of that will take on Mensik, the number 22 seed. Then you got number 25 seed Popperin. He'll take on either Mikkelsen or Bublik in the second round. Then you've got Monfils taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 7 seed Rublev, who is also the defending champion. So, interesting draw for Rublev. Not the easiest draw. Obviously, got to watch out for Rublev. You've got to watch out for Shelton in here as well, because Shelton just came off a Munich. Also got to watch out for Popperin. Very, very good on clay as well. And also look out for Mensik. So, he didn't play great in Munich. Was a bit of an upset there, but on the faster clay, maybe this could suit him. But some of the unseeded players, you've got to watch out for Monfils. We know how dangerous he is, even at 38 years old. He could be very tough for Rublev in the second round. And also Pirikar. Really interested to see how the serve works. All right, next section of the draw, we've got the number 3 seed Fritz. He gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on the winner of O'Connell or Carabelli in the second round. Then you got Bonzi taking on Cilic. Winner of that will take on the number 27 seed Hurkacz in the second round. We haven't seen Hubie for a while, so good to see him back. Then you got the number 23 seed Korda. He'll take on either Sina or Wong in the second round. Then you got Safiullin taking on Rinderknech. Winner of that will take on the number 14 seed Casper Ruud in the second round. So this feels like it's a bit of an open draw, this one, because we haven't seen a couple of these guys recently because of injury, and then some of these guys haven't done as well on clay as we'd expect. So it could be a bit of an open draw. Of course, you've got to watch out for Fritz, made the semis here last year. You've got to watch out for Ruud, of course. Has been very dangerous on clay over his career. He's probably his favorite surface. Also got to watch out for Hubie Hurkacz. Hasn't played much tennis lately because of injury, so hopefully he can come back strong here. And also Korda, he could do some damage on these courts, like I was saying with someone like a Mensik. You know, these courts being a little quicker, the big servers could get some help. All right, next section of the draw, we've got the number 9 seed Medvedev. He gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either a qualifier or Jera in the second round. Then you've got a qualifier taking on Kovacevic. Winner of that will take on number 18 seed Auger-Aliassime in the second round. Then you've got Nakashima, the 31 seed. He will take on either Ovna or a qualifier in the second round. Then you've got Marijan taking on Kaboli. Winner of that will take on the number 8 seed and Barcelona champion Holger Rune. So, interesting draw for Rune. It's not easy to start, but maybe it gets a little bit easier for him and maybe an opportunity for him to continue that great form he got from last week. But of course, you got to watch out for Rune. He's in red hot form right now. You got to watch out for Medvedev as well, even though Klavedev hasn't arrived so far this season. You think that Madrid would be the best chance on a clay court for him, considering the speed. Also got to watch out for Auger-Aliassime, made the final here last year. And I would also be watching out for Marijan, very dangerous player on the clay, and also Kaboli, who just won a title a couple of weeks ago on the clay courts. So, like I said, Rune's early draw might be a little bit tough, but if he can get through that, he might be able to go on and keep this run going of his at the moment. All right, next section of the draw, bottom half, we've got Draper, the number 5 seed. He gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on the winner of Griekspoor or a qualifier in the second round. That could be awkward if Griekspoor Draper were to meet. Then you've got Tien versus Giron. Winner of that will take on number 30 seed Matteo Berrettini in the second round. Then you've got Hashanov, the 24th seed. He'll take on either Opelka or a qualifier in the second round. Then you've got Fonseca taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 11 seed Tommy Paul in the second round. So there he is, Fonseca. I think everybody's been wondering, where has he been? We haven't seen him on the clay courts yet. He's here, and he's in a good part of the draw. I mean, there are some killers there. We know the tough clay quarters there, but also there is opportunity there to maybe do some damage. Of course, you've got to watch out for Draper, trying to see what he can do after training with Sinner all week this week. Also got to watch out for Tommy Paul. Not his best surface, but maybe in Madrid, like I keep saying, it makes, gives opportunities to some players that aren't the best clay quarters to maybe do some damage. Obviously, you got to watch out for Khachanov as well. Had a really good week last week in Barcelona, and Berrettini, very, very dangerous player, made a final here before. But the unseeded players, you've got to watch out for Griekspoor. Proven danger player as an unseeded player in the past, but Fonseca. Obviously, he is the guy that everybody was trying to avoid in the draw, and this is where he's situated, and there's an opportunity that he could do some damage, especially if some of the big names that I said were threats fall apart. So watch out for Fonseca for sure. Bottom part of this quarter of the draw, you've got Tiafoe, the number 16 seed, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Hallis or Dadiri in the second round. Then you've got Goffin taking on Muller. Winner of that will take on the number 21 seed Humbert in the second round. Then you've got number 32 seed Baez. He'll take on either Zumher or Bellucci in the second round. Then you've got Rinaldi taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 4 seed Novak Djokovic in the second round. And look, on paper, Djokovic's draw is very nice. I think this is a very nice draw for him. Of course, upsets happen. We've seen him, not play his best tennis against guys that he should beat in the past. But I feel like on paper, Djokovic has got to like this draw. Of course, you've got to watch out for Nole. You've obviously got to watch out for Tiafoe as well, even though clay isn't his best surface. You've got to watch out for Humbert as well, another guy who's not great on clay, but again, maybe this surface could change it. Baez is a clay quarter, so you've got to watch out for him as well as a possible matchup for Djokovic in that third round. But yeah, the unseeded players in this, I don't know if there's anyone to really look out for, especially because if they do come up against Djokovic, it's going to be very tough, I think, for any of them to sort of take him out. All right, and the bottom quarter of the draw, we have the number 6 seed Minaur. He'll get a bye in the first round. He'll take on the winner of Sonigo and Kecmanovic in the second round. Then you got Vukic taking on Nishikori. Winner of that will take on the number 29 seed Shapovalov in the second round. Then you got number 17 seed Tsitsipas. He takes a bye in the first round. He'll take on either a qualifier or Struff in the second round. Then you got Echeverry versus Medvedev. Winner of that will take on the number 10 seed Musetti in the second round. So again, this doesn't feel like an open draw. It feels like there's a lot of players though that could take advantage of this draw. A lot of dangerous players in this draw who have been proven clay quarters in the past. Of course, you've got to watch out for Minaur. Has been really good on the clay lately. Of course, you've got to watch out for Musetti as well, just coming off the Monte Carlo final. Got to watch out for Tsitsipas. We know how dangerous he is on the clay, even though his rankings suggest lately that he hasn't been good. Still very dangerous. And I'd also watch out for Shapo. He's not a clay quarter, but he can play on this kind of surface. But you got to watch out for the unseeded players like Struff. Made a final here not that long ago. Also got to watch out for Sonigo. Could be dangerous on the clay as well. And the bottom part of the draw, we've got the number 15 seed Dimitrov. He gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either a qualifier or Jarry in the second round. Then you got Boo taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 19 seed Mahach in the second round. Then you got the number 26 seed Lehechka. He'll take on either Landalucci or Norrie in the second round. Then you've got Bergs versus Nishioka. Winner of that will take on the number 2 seed Alcaraz in the second round. This is kind of tough for Carlos. Even though he's been in great form, with the injury concerns that he had in Barcelona, at least in the final of Barcelona, this could be difficult. There's some difficult names here, but you've got to watch out for Alcaraz. You've got to watch out for Dimitrov. You've got to watch out for the 2 Czech players as well, Mahach and Lehechka. Lehechka made a semi-final here last year and then got injured. So very dangerous here and proven here. But you've also got to watch out for Jarry. He is a clay quarter and he hasn't been great lately, but maybe he could do some damage here with that serve. But it's going to be interesting to see who does pop out of this draw, especially if Alcaraz is healthy and does play. I don't know. It doesn't feel like... I think the big story is what can Rune do and what can Alcaraz do physically? Is he going to be ready to play? Other than that, I think everybody else sort of has their problems. I think Djokovic's draw is not as bad as some of the others, but let me know in the comments below. Who's going to win Madrid? It's such a big tournament these days, and it's 96 players, so there's a lot to choose from, and upsets have happened. We've seen on the ATP that they're not immune to upsets anymore. The top players lose early at these tournaments these days. But there it is. That's the Madrid Open. It starts on Wednesday.